Marcelo, você já tem costume, Marcelo?
No YouTube eu nunca tinha feito. A gente faz as lives no Meet, né? Na verdade, a gente faz as apresentações. E acho legal fazer assim em 3, né? A gente acho que vai ser bem interessante fazer dessa forma.
Melhor em 3 que em 1.
So everybody, we are live now. If you want to
All right, let's
your
start now.
presentation.
All right. He just laughed.
Okay, these students are arriving. Ok, o pessoal já está chegando, a gente já vai iniciar, né? Quantas pessoas temos aí? Já dá para ver?
Não.
Consegue ter acesso? Os alunos estão chegando?
No, at the moment it's impossible.
I believe that at the moment we have 13 people around.
I can't see anyone.
13?
Yes.
I can't see anyone.
Me too, Ana Beatriz.
How can I see people here?
No.
Maybe I'm doing something wrong here with my my screen.
Vocês não veem quantas pessoas, porque eu estou no YouTube e eu consigo ver, entendeu?
Ok,
então, à medida que o pessoal for entrando, eu acho interessante vocês irem falando de onde vocês são, tá? Para que os professores possam conversar com vocês, né? Os professores também, se vocês quiserem fazer uma apresentação, uma introdução rapidamente, fiquem à vontade.
Okay, would you like to start, Marcelo?
If you want to introduce us as teachers, I think it's better you start and I'm going to read the slides. Will it be this way?
Okay.
Of course it can. I wanted to go to YouTube here because I'd like to see people coming, you know? It's like here it's like talking to no one. Let me see here. Is there anybody here? Is there anybody here? The students? Can you send a message?
Students.
Acho legal fazer assim em 3, né? A gente acho que vai ser bem interessante. All right.
Melhor em 3 que 1.
Isso. A única coisa que a gente tem que verificar é que a gente está com um pequeno delay por conta da internet. É quase 50 segundos, entendeu? Então vocês já podem irem conversando.
Ok.
Tá? O pessoal vai aparecendo aqui.
O pessoal está aparecendo no... Tá aparecendo aqui no...
Ué, na verdade.
I believe that at the moment we have 13 people around.
I can't see anyone.
Yeah.
I can't see anyone.
Me too, Ana Beatriz.
How can I see people here?
No.
Yeah, we already have guys here. I can see through YouTube. Okay, so let me introduce myself to you. We have here, we've got 21 people here watching us. So I'm going to introduce myself to you.
It's very excellent. 21 students.
21 students we have here right now.
Oh,
so 20.
congratulations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So hello guys. I'm a teacher. I'm Ana Beatriz. I guess you saw me in the videos. So I'm here to do this live with Marcelo and Jesus, your tutors. I hope you're fine. So be welcome, and let's start our live right now. So Jesus or Marcelo, would you like to talk to them?
Okay. Okay. I'm Jesus. I am the tutor. At the moment, I am here at my home. All right. I live in Pouso Alegre. All right.
Good. Marcelo? I guess Marcelo is not. Marcelo? Okay, so I'd like to know where do you come from, you students? Where do you come from? Could you tell us? By the way, I'm from Orofino. I didn't tell you. I'm from Orofino.
So, Bia, as I can see on the chat, I noticed that
Okay.
are some students from Três Corações. Francisco is from Rio de Janeiro.
I can see
Muzambinho,
Zambinho,
Carmo de
Montevideo.
Minas. Maria is from Monção.
Karen,
Tato is
Rio.
from Passos. Okay.
Mhm.
Camila from Pouso Alegre. So there are people in different places of Brazil. So it's really interesting to check this.
So, how is the weather in Rio de Janeiro? Can you tell me? Angra, too. Hello, Vitor. Valença? I don't know Valença.
It's located
Anyone else?
in Rio de Janeiro as well.
Yes.
Valença, I guess so.
Yeah. I've never been there, actually. So I don't know what's going on with Marcelo. He just stopped talking. So in this Cambuí, he began so nice. I've got some relatives in Cambuí. I've got some relatives there. Moacir. And well, in this life, well, at first I'm going to explain you how it works, okay? Our cultural life. We're going to do a presentation talking about the three main national days in the United States, okay? The first one is Martin Luther King Jr., okay, which was the great activist for the human rights, okay. And the second one is gonna be the Halloween, and the third one is gonna be the Thanksgiving, okay. Thanksgiving is an important day in the United States. It's like Christmas here in Brazil, okay. Thanksgiving is very important. It's a holiday, and you can't find anyone on the streets when in Thanksgiving Day. So it's like in Brazil when you are talking about Christmas. Okay, so Marcelo was supposed to introduce you this topic, to talk about this topic at first. And Marcelo, are you there?
Yes, I'm here, Anna. Can you hear
Ah,
me?
now I can.
Yes, we got some problems here, but not everything. I think it's solved now. Solved, and it's very important for students to learn about culture from the countries that English is spoken. When you are learning a language, you are learning the culture from these countries too. And I think that's meet. It's important for us to talking about these topics. I think it's a great opportunity for us too and for all the students there, Inglês Sem Fronteiras, participate in an activity like that. I think it's very, very good for everybody. So, can you start now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just wanted to tell them that at the end of this presentation, we are going to hear from you. Okay, questions, any question you would like to ask us. Okay, please ask us, and let's have a conversation. Okay, I'd like to know you better. So that's it. So Marcelo, go ahead. Let's start our.
Okay, so we are going to start on this first slide here. Our meeting, as we told, is the history behind the U.S. National Days. So it's important to know about the United States National Days. We are going to start with this first man. Can you change the slide, please? The next one, please. Yes. So here we start with a picture. Pay attention to these pictures that we have a quote for this man. Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter. We have here three questions. The first, what do you know about the man in the picture? Do you know this man? And why did he become famous? And what is the meaning of his quote in the picture? Um, this man is Martin Luther King Jr. He became famous because he fought against the racism in the United States. And let's see the meaning of his quote in this picture. Sometimes here in the presentation, if you prefer, you can speak in Portuguese too, no problem. If you are, the students are understanding, can ask us to repeat something, okay? But let's try to understand first in English. Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter. So, Martin Luther King wants to say that we have to fight again, and we don't keep in silence for things that matter, for important things that we have to face and day by day. Okay, so we are going to see the next slide, please. Martin Luther King Jr. Martin Luther King Jr. was a great man who worked for racial equality and civil rights in the United States of America. He was born on January 15th, 1929 in Atlanta, Georgia. Martin experienced racism in early life. In most public places, there were signs that said whites only to tell the black people they were not welcome. So he decided to do something to make world a better and fairer place. So yeah, it's really important to see the Martin Luther King worked for racial equality in United States of America. He was born in 1929, and he was an activist in the fifth column, especially in that country. But we say that it is not only in the United States that
Okay, I think he's frozen. He's frozen. I'd like to tell you one thing about this situation in the United States. I guess Marcelo is frozen, so why
problems
he
like
doesn't come? Okay, Marcelo, are you alive?
Marcelo?
Marcelo, they are telling you that if you can turn off your cam, your internet will be better. Diego is telling you. Maybe it's a good idea. Turn off your cam. Try to turn off your cam. Yes, great. So.
Oh, yes. Can you hear me now?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Marcelo,
can we go on?
Yes. Marcelo, I'd like to add some information here. Okay, could I?
Yes. That's good.
Yeah,
Yes,
you're talking about
please.
Martin Luther King. Just to tell you no, I was reading the methods here. Just to tell you the situation in the United States, related to racism. Okay, my father-in-law, he went to the United States in the early 70s. Okay, or early, no, I guess it was in the early 70s. He went to the United States and he went to study in Berkeley, in California. And he used to tell me that in the trains, when you were going when you take the train, when you took the train, the black people, they couldn't sit in the front of the train or even in the middle of the train. They had to sit in the back of the trains and buses as well. So they were not allowed to sit in the front of the train. Just just white people were allowed. So you can see how serious is this situation, and we are not talking about the 19th century, that we have the slavery and stuff. We are talking about the 70s in the century 20, which is not so. Maybe it's far from here. Maybe 50 years. Okay, you can think, oh no, 50 years ago, it was another world. But I don't think so. If you try to think about Woodstock or the rock band, the great rock band, it was like in that period of time. So you can see how serious was this situation there of racism, when the black people weren't allowed to go to some places. And it's kind of, it's really sad. It's really sad.
Yes,
Go ahead.
there are a lot of places with the sign only white here. And even as you told us, in public transportation, on the black, sometimes black people had to let the place for white. They aren't allowed to stay there. It's really a problem in the United States, but not only in the United States. We have this kind of problem in all over the world, and we have some problems like these nowadays, as you can see in George Floyd death and this year, and all the movements like Lives Matters And it's real, not only in the 60s, 70s, but nowadays we are facing some problems like that around the world. And it's very important to discuss this topic in class too, I think. Can we go
By the
on
way,
with the slides? And we
no,
can
no,
discuss a little.
just add another information coming from a student, please.
Yes.
Victor Toledo, he's telling that he knows that Martin Luther King Jr. was well known for in the U.S. for the fight for civil rights through diplomacy and nonviolence. And this is right, Victor. This is very interesting because yes, his fight was with no nonviolence. He didn't like violence, and it is
Yes, one of
very
his
good.
inspirations is Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhi is
Ah,
peaceful
yeah.
protests around the world.
Which I think it's very noble.
Yes, a Nobel Prize.
Noble. I'm sorry, noble.
Yes.
I think it's very noble. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
a great man. So this they celebrate his day. Which day is Martin Luther King celebrated?
Oh yes.
January 18.
And third Monday in January. The
Yes,
third
okay.
Monday in
You were
January.
more
We're
specific.
going to talk about this in the next slide.
Sorry, Marcelo.
But no problem. We are just one of the most important thing I say it's when is this holiday in the United States? It's in 30 Monday in January. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So
You can
can
change
we go on?
slide, please.
Can
Next
we go
slide.
on? Yes, please. So Martin Luther King led nonviolent protests to fight for the rights of all people, including African Americans. He hoped that American and the world could become a society where race would not impact a person's civil rights. He is considered one of the great orators of modern times, and his speech will inspire many to these days.
Yeah, when I was searching about him, I found articles and works about his speech. They were like analyzing his speech to because they were really powerful, very powerful, inspiring.
Yes, very much.
Are you there?
Next slide, please. Yes, I'm here. Okay, in 1963, Martin Luther King Jr. helped to organize the famous March on Washington. Over 250,000 people attended this march in an effort to show the importance of civil rights legislation. I Have a Dream speech. This speech has become one of the most famous speeches in history. The March on Washington was a great success. Then the Civil Rights Act was passed a year later in 1964. Okay, so here, what is the name of his most famous speeches? I Have a Dream. Okay,
Yeah.
next slide, please.
I
During
think
the
we can find it on the internet if you Google it.
all right. During the 1950s, Dr. King became active in the movement for civil rights and racial equality. He participated in peaceful demonstrations that protested the unfair treatment of African Americans. He won the Nobel Peace Prize in 1964. The next slide, please.
Marcelo? Well, this slide is talking about Martin Luther King's death. Okay, Marcelo, are you back? Okay, he was murdered, as you can see here in the slide. Okay, but he is still celebrated, and he won many prizes after his death. Okay, Marcelo.
Okay, I'm here now. Yes, I'm here. I turn off my camera, shut down. I think can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Sorry, but I think it's some connection problems. So here is a part of a speech from Martin Luther King. I have a dream. I have a dream that my four little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. So here is a part of his speech. I have a dream. I think it's one of the best sentence I have heard about this subject, and it's important. And it can, as you told us, it can inspire us.
Yeah.
Would you like to talk about this part about the Martin Luther King? Anything else would you like to show us?
Yeah, please, if you want to say anything about him, it's time to do that right now. No, I guess they won't. Okay.
Are there any questions about this part about Martin Luther King? Are there any questions from students?
No, I guess they don't have any questions here.
Okay, so let's talking about the next, the history of Halloween. Okay, when it's going, the Halloween is celebrated on October 31st. Next, please. Okay, it all started with the Celts over 2,000 years ago. The Celts celebrating the 1st of November as the New Year. They believed that on that night, before the New Year, the boundary between the living and the dead. On this night, they held a festival called Samhain, and they believed that the ghosts of the dead returned to Earth on this night. Okay, next, please.
Do you understand? Can you understand what he just said? Is everything okay with you?
All right.
This explanation in English? Yeah, I can't see any. I guess it's everything okay. They didn't say anything here.
Okay.
Could I add an information here, Marcel?
I'm sorry, please, can you repeat?
Could I add an information here about Halloween?
All right, let's do it. Halloween wasn't very popular in America until people started to move there from other countries, especially Irish people during the famine. So Halloween is brought to the United States from people from other countries, especially Irish people. All right.
Yeah, can I tell you one more thing? Can I tell them one more thing, Marcel?
Yes. The next slide, please. Scaring people.
Marcelo,
I'm sorry.
Please. I'm sorry. Could I tell them one more thing about the origin of the Halloween?
I'm sorry, but I can't hear you. Can you repeat, please, Anna?
Sure, of course. About the origin of Halloween, I'd like to add an extra information. Just it's just a curiosity. Oops, curiosity. Caramba.
Yes.
Curiosity. Oh my God! Sometimes we get really stuck here in the words. Okay. I don't know if you know about that the Halloween started with the Celtics, and which is a great culture. But then after the Celtics, do you know, Marcel? Did you know that the Wiccas also celebrated these days? They also, you know, Wiccas?
Yeah, and Halloween celebrated all around the world.
Yeah, but that's first.
Just start with
After
2000. Yes, after Celtics, what?
Right after Celtics, they were celebrated by the Wiccas. Wiccas, you know, that kind of witch.
Oh yes.
Wicca. They are women that they had their proper religion. Okay, they are considered as a pagan religion, and the Wiccas, which is like a bewitch, they used to work with the nature. They used to have a close relation with the nature. So they used to make medicine with herbs, and they used to dance under the moon, depending on the day. So that's why if you look at the symbols, the Celtic symbols are very. Sometimes you can find the same symbol, the Celtic symbol, in the Wicca's culture too. That's it. So it's very interesting. So that's, and then when the Catholic Church started to burn the witches, you know, they started to burn these kind of women, the Wiccas. They started to fight against the Wiccas. So, and then they almost disappeared with that religion. And now, after a great time, after a long time, they started to bring out them again, this kind of religion. So nowadays we can see Wiccas around. They say, "Oh, I'm Wicca," you know, but they also used to celebrate a holiday. And then, yes, and then it ended up spreading all over the world, mainly in the United States. Celtics is, yes, Robert. Okay, Marcelo?
Okay, scary people were very popular at one time until people began to celebrate Halloween with parties and family get-togethers. Halloween became more about fun and games instead of superstitions and religious beliefs. Next one, please. In the past, on Halloween, people thought they would encounter ghosts if they left their homes. To disguise themselves, people wore masks and when they left their homes, so that the ghosts would mistake them for fellow spirits. And now the next one. I'm going to talk about trick or treat. This tradition, trick or treat, comes from long ago when poor people would beg for food and families. This was eventually taken up by children who would visit their houses in their neighborhood and be given food and money. So think it's this about Halloween, but it's very important date because it's celebrated all around the world, um, and especially in countries in North America, of course, but all around the world, this tradition is kind of it's a kind of a joke for children and families. I think it's a special date for everybody, October 31st. Would you like to comment now, Anna?
No. Also now in Brazil, because we are drinking all the English culture, American. So now we have the Halloween here, but I don't think it makes sense here in Brazil. But they like it. Do you think it makes sense Halloween here in Brazil?
For me or for our students, this
For all
question?
students. For all students. For you
Yes.
too, if you want to say your opinion.
Okay. No. I'd like to hear from our students.
Okay, Guilherme here, the student, is asking, is Halloween a holiday? Marcelo? Marcelo?
Yes.
Yes. Is Halloween a holiday, Marcelo? Guilherme Oliveira is asking you.
It's considered a national day in the United States, and it's only, I think it's a date for celebration. It's nowadays in most countries a kind of jokes for children. It's not a holiday all around the world.
Okay. Yeah, Roberto, yes, Roberto Jr., he says that he doesn't know if it really makes sense in Brazil. I personally feel it doesn't. I don't know. Maybe I'm too old for this. I don't know. Yes, exactly, Robert. Because it's a totally different culture. I think we could celebrate more our culture than the other ones. Not that the other ones shouldn't be celebrated here, because Halloween, kids like it. That's okay. But we should give, in my opinion, we should give more, we should emphasize our culture more than we do now. Because we have a rich culture, we have a beautiful culture, we have many I could say fairy tales here. We have Saci Pererê and other creators that can scare ourselves. You know what I mean? We have we have Boitatá, we have Saci, we have I forgot now about them, but many characters who could be exploited by us, but they're not. So that's it. Maybe I'm being nationalist. I don't know. Anyone else would like to talk about it? To give your opinion? It's a nice time now to you to practice your English here. Okay, at least writing here. Okay, it's a nice time to you. Karin, what holidays most celebrate? Halloween or Thanksgiving Day? Thanksgiving, it's very strong in the United States. Thanksgiving, for sure. Thanksgiving in the United States is like Christmas. I mean, you're talking about celebrated, you're talking about quantity or quality. You know what I mean? Because if you're saying about Thanksgiving is only celebrated in the United States, not in the other countries, okay? And Halloween is celebrated in many countries. So it depends on your perspective, okay? But I'm talking about the United States. In the United States, Thanksgiving is a very, very special time for them. It's like Christmas, okay? I don't know if I answered your question. Okay, Amanda is saying that she doesn't think Halloween is important here for us. Only interesting for children, maybe. Yes, I agree with you, Amanda. That's the way I think. Anyone else would like to comment here? To talk about this cultural issue, you know, between Brazil and other countries, like yeah, it's cultural. Like Halloween, I think it doesn't make much sense. And you, Marcel, what do you think about it?
I agree with you. We have our culture here, and but it's important. And when we are studying a language, we are studying culture too. So it's important for us, our teachers, as a teachers, and for our students to know about the origin of
Oh, no, of course. Yeah, sure.
these dates. All right.
Yes, mainly because Halloween is much more than what we see. Sorry, Halloween is much more than what we see. It has a long history. It has a beautiful history.
It seems like a party now. It's only.
Yeah, it's just a party, but it has a beautiful meaning. Beautiful meaning, I think.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So, Marcelo, I think we can move on.
All right. So now we are going to talk about Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is celebrated on the fourth Thursday of November. This year, Thanksgiving is November 26th. Okay, next slide, please. All right. Thanksgiving celebration. Thanksgiving is a happy holiday. Families get together and invite friends on Thanksgiving too. Okay. Next. What is Thanksgiving? It's a special holiday where families and friends get together to celebrate the things they are thankful for in their lives. It's a federal holiday, so schools, banks, post offices, and government offices are closed. It's celebrated on the fourth Thursday, November. Okay. All right. Let's talking about the origins of Thanksgiving. Who were the Pilgrims? A long time ago, the King of England said that everyone that everyone to go to. Some of the people didn't want to go to the king's church because they had another church they liked better. They believed to do So they decided to get away from England and go to another country. Okay. Next, please. Now we're going to talk about the voyage to America. They got in a big ship called Mayflower. They decided to go to another country to start a new life where they could have a religious freedom. They were called the Pilgrims. They arrived in North America in 1621. Okay. The first Thanksgiving was in 1621 when the Pilgrims invited. All right.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead. Yes. Marcel? Marcel?
Hello, Anna. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so let's do it. The first Thanksgiving was in 1621 when the Pilgrims invited Native Americans to a 3-day feast to celebrate autumn harvest. The Pilgrims and the Wampanoag also used this holiday to thank God for what they had in their lives. So, next one, please. All right. Today's Thanksgiving feast. On Thanksgiving, families get together and celebrate what they are thankful for. Then they usually eat a big meal. The most popular thing to eat at Thanksgiving is a turkey. So here we have two pictures of a turkey, live turkey and cooked turkey, delicious.
Yeah, there is
So
an
Anna,
episode.
would you
I'm
like to
sorry,
comment this?
I just cut. There is an episode of in France, the series, which in which they the funny guy, I forgot the name of him, Joey. He just put a turkey in her head and gets stuck there. So it is very funny, that episode. Very nice. I don't know if you guys like Friends, but there's a very funny episode related to the Thanksgiving Day. And when the English they went to America, they just just an extra information, like more related to history or geography. I don't know. They first went to America, but the first places he went is called Massachusetts. Okay, the main city of Massachusetts is Boston, which has a lot of Brazilian people over there. And if you pay attention, the English, the language in Boston, the accent in Boston is pretty similar to the accent in England. Okay, just because of that, it was the first place that the English people went when they went to the United States. And also the architecture and the house, they are very similar to the houses in England. Nothing to do with Thanksgiving feast, but I wanted to give them this information. Um, what, Robert? Robert says he is a pilgrim too. Since 2005, he goes by foot from Três Corações to Aparecida. 250 kilometers. Yes, I know many people who does that. I know many people. They love it. Who do that? I'm sorry, people do. I don't know. You're very brave. I wouldn't do that. You're very brave, Roberto. Okay, Guilherme. Guilherme here is saying, Marcelo, that there isn't Thanksgiving for the turkey. Yes, I'm afraid I agree with you. I like your sense of humor, Guilherme. Great. Francisco, what's the most important part for Thanksgiving? Thanksgiving, the most important part is when they get together to have these to have their meals, okay, around the table, and they thank God for everything they got that year. It is very beautiful, you know. That's why it's called Thanksgiving Day. You know, if you share the words Thanksgiving, not shared, sorry, split the word Thanksgiving, you can find thanks and given. Okay, so to give thanks to, in this case, to God. Yes, Amanda, I agree with you. We should start this holiday here in Brazil. It's very inspiring. Yes, very inspiring. I think so. Mainly in Brazil, because we have lots of problems here. You know, we should give Thanksgiving all the time, whenever when things end fine. Okay, Marcelo, you can go on. Thank you for your patience with me.
Oh no, it's opportunity for us to talking about some important points. As I think Thanksgiving, as you told us now, thanks to God, thanks for the year, and get together in family. And nowadays we let's show. Yes, start my camera now. Oh yes, okay. I think Thanksgiving's a special date. I think it's good to end our presentation with this date because the meaning of Thanksgiving is very, very good, very important for us. Thanks to God for the year and to get together in family, especially in these days we can't stay together with our family. We can see how important this is. Okay, and
Yes.
what do you think about it?
I think that, for example, Christmas. Christmas is more okay. It has a very special meaning, but nowadays it's more like infected with the with consuming things and presents, and it's very materialistic, and it ends up covering all the real meaning of Christmas. So nowadays, I can't see people talking about Christmas as a very I'm not talking about religion, okay? I'm
The
not
real
just
meaning of
talking
the
about
Christmas.
the real meaning. Yes, it is covered by all those media sellers, products.
Santa
We buy
Claus
a lot, we consume a lot.
and Santa
Yes, Santa
Claus.
Claus, Santa Claus. Yes, you're right. And
Yeah,
yes, you're right. And
and we don't remember that it is Jesus' birth. They
no,
don't
no,
remember
not at
this
all,
fact.
not at all.
Yes, yes.
They just want to eat and exchange presents and gifts and things like that. At least that's what that's how I see things. But Otherwise, Thanksgiving, I think they still keep the real meaning of this date, of this time. And the meaning is very beautiful. The meaning is not related to religion, so the meaning is very universal. The meaning of the Thanksgiving is very universal. The best thing we can do for ourselves is being grateful. If you are grateful, your life gets much better. There's also an exercise that they say that is very important, is very nice, and I can say it's very nice because I've already done that. It's like at the end of your day, when you're in your bed already, just remind 3 things in your life, in your day, that made you happy. It could be a cup of coffee. It could be a smile from someone in the street you don't know. It could be any tiny things, It could be big things, but tiny things. Because sometimes at the end of the day, we say, oh, I have a BS day. I have a terrible day. My life sucks. But if you start thinking about good things, if you start focusing in good things in your life, you find you just, oh my God, I had that chocolate cake that my neighbor gave me. So it's something that I can thank for that for. So I think the meaning of Thanksgiving is so powerful. I think everyone should have this meaning, have this concept in their daily basis. Life would be much better. And I'd like to have Thanksgiving here in Brazil.
Okay. We have some comments from our students.
Any comments? No? Yes, they say, yeah, they agree. They think we should start this. Amanda says that because it's very inspiring. Yes, Amanda, I guess you're right. Vitor Toledo says that Thanksgiving Day is a federal holiday. Okay, he's giving an extra information here. It's a federal holiday named annually in Washington, D.C. on January 6th, 1885. Okay, thank you, Victor. I didn't have this information here. He's talking about when it was named. It was named in Washington, D.C. That's what I understood. And Robert is asking what happened with Jesus. He disappeared. Yes, at least in Christmas, I can see him. I just see Santa Claus. Anyone else would like to ask or comment something? Who said that? Rafael? Jesus the tutor, I guess. O Jesus o tutor, he said. Marcelo. I think it was Rafael. You're being okay. I thought it was. Sorry, I'm the wrong one here. I understand. I was talking about Jesus Christ, and they were talking about. Had an appointment. He had classes. Now, Jesus, yes, he had to teach, so he had to go out earlier, to leave earlier. That's why he's not here. I'm sorry. I thought it was Jesus Christ. So, does anyone have any question? Okay, so I think it's time to say goodbye. So, Marcelo, are you here?
Yes, I'm here. I'd like to thank you and thank for our students that participated here with us. And I hope you studied a lot this week. Don't forget studying and do all the activities. All right.
All right. I don't know when it's going to be the next meet. Do you know, Marcelo?
Uh, I don't remember now, but we
I don't
are
remember.
going to thinking about that now to prepare a surprise for our students, something good for them.
Yeah, but
Thank
we
you,
accept
Anna.
suggestion. Marcelo, thank you very much for your presentation. Okay. And guys, thank you so much for being here. And well, see you next time in the video, okay? In the next video. So bye-bye, and have a great week. Bye-bye.